Hello, Blenders. Hello, Freelancers. Welcome to another episode of the Freelance Blend Podcast. This is your host, Marv De Leon. And I'm so excited to, matagal-tagal na rin tayo hindi labas ng episode. Marami lang nangyari and, sort of busy with, uh, with work and family life. But of course, we still continue to um, produce episodes that will help freelancers. And today, itong time na to, in this time of COVID, aside from that, no, so, first of all, I hope you guys, our listeners and viewers, are doing well. It's a very difficult time. But ano rin, another thing that unfortunately, sabi nga nila yung what's the only things that are permanent, tama ba yun? Lead yung death and taxes.
Yeah. Hindi mo
So,
talaga you can't run away from taxes talaga. Kahit saan ka
yes. So,
pupunta, may taxes.
oo, tama-tama. So, and time of tax season na naman. And I know that a lot of freelancers and even business owners, ito yung time of naghahabol ng filing of income taxes. So that's why I invited my friend, Liej Alas. He's the growth manager for Taxumo, who will help us in understanding how to file our income taxes properly. Especially nga na a few days na lang. So I'll be posting this siguro, first, second week of April. So definitely napaka-close sa deadline ng BIR for annual ITR. So thank you, Liej Alas, for coming over to the Freelance Blend Podcast. So can you briefly talk about, first yourself, introduce yourself, and how you help our freelancers in Taxumo?
All right. So first of all, thank you, Marv, for inviting us over here, and happy to be of service to the freelance community. So I'm Liej Alas, the growth manager for Taxumo, and basically what I do in Taxumo is that I take care of marketing for the company across digital media, blog, email, and all that. So that's what I do. I try to one of the things I do as well is to educate freelancers and other small business owners around the country about taxation and how you can make it easier for yourself. So that's in line with Taxumo's goals. Na we try to make the tax filing experience for everyone as smooth as possible.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you again, Leech, for kahit short notice, no, we're able to record this because nga of the timeliness.
Yeah.
And people know I previously worked with Taxumo rin as marketing manager, growth manager. And once I've transferred to another company, Leech took over.
Yes.
Um, so at the same time, no, yung once I transferred to that new company, since freelancer pa rin naman ako, I still get some gigs from clients. Continuous pa rin yung aking paggamit ng Taxumo
Mm.
as a customer, as a user. So that's why I contacted again Taxumo asking for help on how to file. And I thought of kung ako nakaka-experience ng difficulties with the filing and preparing of my income tax, most likely a number of our freelancer friends experience this. And not just our freelancer friends. So ako nga, I'm considered mixed income
Mm.
because I'm employed plus I earn from my income. I earn income from my freelancing gigs. So siguro we can start with that, no? So what happens to people who transition from, let's say, freelancer to becoming employed again pero nakakakuha pa rin sila ng gigs? So siguro ang question nila, should they continue to file their taxes since um, their employers already file withhold taxes from their income? What can you say
Yes
about
naman.
that?
Yeah, sure. Like a common misconception naman of a lot of people is that yun nga, like because my employer withheld taxes from me, that's enough not to suffice not to become tax compliant. But what people don't realize is that the law states naman na if you're earning income outside of employment, then you need to declare that income and file the appropriate taxes for it. So as kind of to be a law a law abiding citizen, it's in your interest to to file and declare that income and your taxes. And aside from it being a parang nationalistic stance, there's also a sort of like what's in it for me, like ano ba yung makukuha ko? Well, it's more of financial credentials, like that income that you receive from your side gig or your freelance gig could mean a difference between getting a good interest rate on a loan or being able to get a credit card. So people parang sometimes people forget that there's a huge benefits to getting a larger income. Eh. And that getting the larger income from your side gig will allow you to get, yeah, like better opportunities for loans, better credit card na makuha nyo, like easier to got easier approval. So ang daming benefits talaga to actually declaring that income.
Mm. Yeah, that's true, ano. For me personally, I thought of uh, parang focusing na lang talaga on my
Mm.
being an employee and then closing my freelancing business so that
Yep.
yun nga yung isa sa mga sabihin natin nga na burden is yung filing a separate taxes as a freelancer.
Yep.
However, when I was thinking about it, parang the benefits, the ones that you mentioned earlier, outweigh yung burden of paying taxes. So parang hindi na siya burden, it's more of in a way investment. So for me,
Yeah.
the benefit since I work with local clients, particularly a large company,
Mm.
requirement talaga na you have that certificate of registration and that
Yes.
you file your taxes. So without that, I won't be able to work with that client. So inisip ko na lang nga na parang yung income potential, ano ba yung net, parang magiging net income ko, less
Yep.
the tax. So of course, if it's positive, hindi siya in the red, then I should continue with my freelancing business.
Yep.
So and yun, the big companies won't work with freelancers na hindi walang certificate of registration. So it's an opportunity cost
Yeah.
na they approach you tapos they like your work tapos they want to work with you tapos when the time comes they ask for that certificate of registration or
Mm.
your OR wala kang ma-produce then you won't be able to work with them and
Yeah.
uh, ayun din malilimit ka sa income potential mo so
Yeah, that's true as well. That's a situation that's not only limited to freelancers, but also a lot of other industries as well. Let's say, for example, online seller ka. Like Lazada, if you want to sell on Lazada, you actually have to be a registered business. Or if you're an events agency and you want to get some corporate gigs, no, they won't interact with you if you don't present them as COR because for them they also need to para remit their taxes properly to you as well, and the whole withholding tax thing as well. They can't do that if you're not a registered company. So this is not only a freelancer limited situation, like kahit anong business ka, if you really want to score the big ticket clients, kailangan mo talaga it's just I think for me it's not only investment, it's also part of the cost of doing business. Like what does it cost me to get that big fish na client? If it costs me COR, then yes, that is super duper worth it. And that's how I think about it.
yeah yeah again that's ako rin ganun yung pumasok sa isip ko when I was experience parang that crossroad na parang ano
Mm.
ba, i-close ko na lang ba or pero sayang naman nga, sayang yung
Mm.
opportunities that were being presented to me and yung future opportunities.
Yep.
So I think another misconception sa naririnig ko even after I left Taxumo no na parang
Mm.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with Clubhouse. So it's a
Yep.
social network na audio. I've been
Yeah. I
hanging
actually can't get into that kasi nasa Android ako eh. I tried to
okay.
get in.
Meron akong
Yeah.
meron pa naman ako invite. I can give you an invite pag ganun. Pag uma-open na sa Android, I can give you that invite. Anyway,
Sige,
so
sige.
parang nagkaroon ng discussion about taxation and I think well, of course, since I was with Taxumo, medyo familiar ako sa taxes. Parang
Mm.
here yung misconception na oh, wala namang kailangan i-file pag hindi naman umabot ng 250K
Mm.
ang income for the year. So pero syempre, 'di ba? They still need to file. So is that a common misconception that you
Yeah.
as
Yes,
well?
definitely. Kasi I was in the webinar. We did a webinar with Upwork a few like around a week ago. And yun talaga yung one of the most common question I ask like 250K naman yung income ko for the whole year. Why do I need di naman tax exempt daw? But tax exempt only means that you don't have to pay, but you still have to file. That's the thing, no? Like
Yeah,
yeah,
correct.
yun nga, like you still have to file. There's no
Oo.
there's no escape from filing, and it's just really like to be honest with you, like even naman if zero yung income mo, you still have to file kasi when you register your business to the BIR, there's already an obligation on your part to file the taxes that is required of you at the due dates. And the problem with not filing them is that magpapatong yun yung penalties mo. May
Oo.
interest pa yun, ganon. So, it accumulates over time. Then, once you start getting back into the business, then, oh my God, ang dami ko palang utang sa BIR. Then, we don't want that to happen. That thing that situation can be totally avoided. If you just file zero value tax forms,
Yeah.
yung zero income lang, yun lang isusulat mo sa BIR form mo, wala akong income, zero.
Oo.
File mo, then check, okay na. Okay ka na sa BIR.
Oo. Yeah, tama. Ang daming a lot of people don't know that na akala nila 250K hindi mo kailangan magbayad ng tax. Hindi mo kailangan mag-file but you still need to file. So
Yes.
filing and paying are two separate processes, 'di ba? Na
Yeah.
yeah. Kaya I didn't want to get into that debate in that group but yun yung narinig ko nga na hindi naman kailangan mag-file, hindi naman umabot
Mm.
ng 250K. So, you mentioned that webinar with Upwork. Ano pa yung common misconceptions ng freelancers about
This is more of yung mga international clients like bakit ako why should I file taxes na nasa ibang bansa yung ko, nasa ibang bansa yung galing yung pera, but it's your practice of profession is in the Philippines. That's technically income that's generated in the Philippines. So you still need to declare that. And going back to the previous na point ko na that's income that you need to declare. Kasi if you're earning a lot of your income from freelancing, then why shouldn't you that's financial credentials, diba? There's a whole lot of benefits to getting if nakikita ng mga bangko na ang daming pera to, like that's something you can only prove through income tax returns and
yeah.
nothing else.
Mm. Siguro they compare it with being an OFW.
Yeah,
Uh,
yun nga eh.
Parang tama ba na pag OFW ka since you earn outside the Philippines, hindi siya tax?
Yes. Tax exempt ka if OFW ka.
Oo.
Yeah, so I was an OFW before moving to Taxumo, and
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
I didn't have to file Philippine taxes, and I've also gotten into a few parang debates as well. Bakit hindi na babayad yung mga OFW ng taxes? Like,
Oo,
I mean,
oo.
that's in the law naman na tax exempt yung mga FW.
Mhm. Pero
But
you
bas-
pay your taxes there.
yeah. So it's also I had to pay, and yun nga like the thing with the way so it's I think if you're an employee, how they deal with taxes here is much better than when I was in Singapore. Because when I was in Singapore, I had to file it manually. Eh. I had to I had to declare my income and all that. Like I had to pay it myself. Di nila withhold yung employer.
Mm.
So in the Philippines, your HR does it for you. So
Walang
medyo like,
online Taxumo sa Singapore?
well, online naman, it online, but like as an employee, as a like
Yeah.
you have to pay it yourself. Wala silang withholding tax in Singapore. At least for my tax bracket back then. Hindi sila nag-withhold ng pera.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
Kasi siguro
ayun.
assume naman nila na yung people in Singapore will pay taxes and not avoid taxes.
Yeah.
Hindi
Ano,
siguro makukulong.
sobrang liit ng Singapore eh. So
Yun pa.
the moment you do one like tax evasion, ang dami ng baka ang dami ng kumakatok sa mo sa sa house mo.
Yeah, tama. So yeah, we mentioned earlier nga yung well, freelancers, especially since you're earning here, uh we need to file and pay our taxes, and um so siguro you can talk more about how Taxumo helps freelancers do that.
Sige. So, for everyone, I think for everyone here, the reason I'm assuming that the reason why you're here is that you have difficulty filing your taxes now. Like, there's a lot of questions, with taxes, and even for me, like I've joined for Taxumo for almost a year now, and yun nga, like there's still a lot of things like talaga ganito yung taxes natin. So there's a lot of things that you have uh knowing a basic knowledge about tax opens a lot more questions. And that's why the founders, EJ, Ginger, Evan, Kevin, they've established Taxumo because they see the need for um, easier tax filing. And from what we found, like a lot of people don't mind paying taxes. It's just the process. It's just to how do you say it nicely? Mahirap talaga yung process if you yeah. So what we did was what Taximo does is that we're a tax automation software. So we try to streamline the process for tax filing as much as possible and bring it into one space. So in the past, when you do manual filing, sige, fill up the form, punta ka sa banko or sa BIR, slide mo, then pay, ganon. So what if we put that all into one space, online, easily accessible anywhere, tapos i-connect mo lang yung credit card and debit card mo or online account, then, that would be so much better, Like, why, why, why put someone through so much trouble when, you can do it so much easier through software? So that's where Taxumo comes in, no? Like it's actually software for taxes talaga siya. So what we do in the platform is that a few things that we're extremely proud of is automated tax form generation. So nakikita natin yung mga mahahaba mga BIR forms that the system does that for you kasi before you start doing your taxes, we ask for your tax profile, ano ba yung line of business mo, what kind of tax rates are you in, and we ask you to input a cash flow. So ano yung income expenses mo for the entire year or for that specific period. So automatically na-calculate na rin namin yung tax due. So that part talaga na mamano-mano mo isusulat yung mga yung mga tax forms, and how do I compute this tax? 3% ba ako, 8%, like how do you compute that? The system automatically does that for you. So that's one of the key features. That's why people go to Taxumo kasi you don't have to think about those. Why do you have to think about those when you can have this software to do that for you, diba? Na less rate of error pa kasi system yung system na yung nagkaka-calculate for you. Hindi na siya prone to human error like previously.
Mm.
And and we're also, since we're tawag dito is that TSP, tax service tax software provider by the BIR, accredited kami. So we automatically sync with the BIR system na. So automatic na yun na pag na-submit mo yung file, yung tax form yung with Taxumo, it directly goes to BIR systems na. And like lastly is the payment channels. So payment channels and attachments as well. Attachment is that ang dami mo kasing isasubmit to the BIR, especially when you're a freelancer like 2307s, diba? Like that's one of the things that you need to submit together with your filing. So what you can do is that you can just plug those into your Taxumo account, and then we'll file that together with your income tax return. And then lastly is the payment. It's super convenient. Credit card, debit card, GrabPay, uh, kahit bayad center, pwede kayong magbayad sa taxes to Taxumo with that. So the convenience is there. What's most convenient for you, we cater to that.
Mhm. Yeah, and also to add to that, well, people know no na even before I joined Taxumo, I was already a customer. I think I have previous episodes about that, talking about how Taxumo helped me. Yung sabi mo nga na especially yung payment part, kasi before Taxumo, I hired an accountant who helped me with the registration.
Mm.
And then when the time came na I need to file and when I needed to pay,
Yeah.
sabi punta ka sa bangko na ito lang yung
Mm.
bangko na pwede mong puntahan na malapit sa iyo.
Yeah.
So parang it was such a hassle to leave, to be able to just parang leave the house
Yeah.
para magbayad ng pumila sa bangko, magbayad ng tax. So parang napaka-hassle, and that's why I reached out to Ginger and I discovered Taxumo. Parang ang laking, imagine siguro in time from hours to just
Yeah.
minutes. Ang laking savings sa time and even money,
Yeah. Lalo na
etc.
ngayon, lalo na ngayon nga, like COVID na. So,
Now,
why have to go outside? Do it online if you can.
risk your life pay for taxes. So, and I think another thing I want to add na when yung Taxumo is not just a software, it's also a company na with a human touch, kasi especially taxes, ang dami mong questions, parang kinakabahan ka, ang daming hindi ka makatulog, you need somebody to help you. And shout out sa support team ng Taxumo. Even during that time, no, before I joined, I have so many questions. They were very patient in answering. Yeah, shout out kila Mel, kila Venny, and of course our dev guys, and everyone there sa Taxumo. Kasi nga again, when I experienced this, yung filing as a mixed income individual, I reached out again to customer support, and I can imagine the people who have all these questions about taxes na if they haven't discovered Taxumo, saan na lang sila pupunta kung wala silang kaibigan
Mm.
na accountant, na wala silang kakilala na marunong mag-file ng tax. So
Yeah.
I think that's another benefit of joining Taxumo is the support. Hindi ka papabayaan na just file by yourself, di ba?
Mm. Yeah. Like our support team is available 9 to 10, 9 to 12 midnight pala every day. So whenever you have any problems, like, I don't understand this part, just ask away. Like,
Yeah.
that's we're just one click away from helping you out with your taxes.
Tama, just go to the website, nandun sa di ba, yung sa chat
Oh,
function.
so chat. Mm.
So yeah, definitely no, I hope people understand the benefits of filing online to Taxumo. Siguro yeah, you mentioned earlier na tax season, April, malapit na yung
Yeah.
BIR deadline. So how should let's say a freelancer wants to file their uh, annual income tax return, ano ba yung steps? I think you'll be sharing with us no, a demo on how
Yeah.
to use the platform and how easy it is to file their income tax through
Yeah.
Taxumo. Yeah.
So first of all, no, before you start filing tax, make sure you're registered with the BIR. So I get that question sometimes na hindi pa ako registered, but how do I file my tax? Like you need to you need to register yourself first and let BIR know that you're earning from a freelance profession.
Mhm. Do you still
Kasi
have that
wala
service where
yes, yes.
the people register?
Yes, we still have the business registration service, but yun nga kasi our registration service is nasa Metro Manila pa rin yung service areas namin. And with the NCR na
Ah,
NCR plus na ECT bubble, unfortunately we can't say na how fast we can go kasi sobrang limited na yung mobility ng mga uh, partner accountants namin. So
yeah.
if you want to get it fast, I think the best option is to actually try to do it yourself, but yun nga, like make sure you're registered first with the BIR
Mhm.
before you start filing. Kasi
Yeah, correct.
there's
O nga pala, no? So, dapat
no,
talaga registered muna. Pero assuming they're already registered, tapos na yon, tapos they want to, yeah, start filing their ITR.
yeah, sure. So like if you want to go to Taxumo, you can go to www.taxumo.com, sign up for a free account there, and we will be uh and basically we'll guide you through the whole process of tax filing. So it's what we call is guided filing. So we try to make you understand. We not only do it for you, but we try to make you understand why this goes on. Kasi yun nga, it's one of the main thrust of Taxumo is to actually educate you because the more confident you are about taxes, it's easier for you to like less worry for you because you know what this does, what this particular item does. So if I may share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sige, sige. So this is the Taxumo dashboard. So this is basically what you see when you start going through. It's like when you sign up to Taxumo actually. You get an income and expense summary. So this is actually one of our favorite features galing sa mga customers namin is that you can basically use Taxumo as a financial tracking tool in some way for your business. Income and expenses and all that. So before you begin, make sure that you set your taxpayer profile correctly. Kasi nga, like if you put in the wrong info here, you'll not be able to accurately fill out your tax forms and calculate for you. So fill out all these necessary information.
Mhm.
And
Just
important
to
dito is,
just to clarify, ano naman to, no? Demo account to, di ba?
yes, demo
Test
account
account,
to.
yeah. So, baka isipin nila na uy, sinishare yung tax ni.
Yeah, hindi na totoo. Random numbers to random location. So,
Okay.
yung one of the important thing you need to make sure is yung business profile mo. Kasi we're filing for the 2020 annual profile. So, I've put in here a profile for professionals. So, providing services, income from profession, tapos yung income tax rate is 8%, which is typically yun yung ginagamit ng mga freelancer kasi low business expense really benefits from 8% income tax rate. Tapos you choose,
That's,
make sure,
yeah, sorry, that's a whole another topic, no, yung 8%.
yes.
And yeah, I know in the Taxumo blog, there's tons of information, whether 8% ba ako or hindi. So, just go to Taxumo, the blog section of Taxumo for that.
Yeah. Search for yung 8% versus graduated. That's the blog post that you should be looking for. And you
Yes.
highlight it there. Make sure you choose income tax kasi hindi yun lalabas. Yung income tax nyo. And then, save the changes. After which, you go to your cash flow. Dito tayo magpapakita ng this is where we input our income and expenses to declare. So in here, let's filter it out to 2020. So you can see here, I've put in all my income and expenses for the fourth quarter of 2020 kasi the annual ITR covers this October to December na mga income expenses mo. So this is it. And then if you want to add income, you can just put in add here. You can add expense as well. And if you have a lot of things to input, you can download an Excel sheet where you can enter all your income and expenses, or you can also do a bulk add. So you can put in multiple incomes and expenses as well. So if habol mo talaga, it's easier for you to enter your income and expenses on Taxumo. Then after that, let's go to our tax juice.
Sorry, Liej. So, can you go back to that bulk? Parang
Yes, yes, yes.
ngayon ko lang nalaman pala. So, yung bulk ad on the screen mismo,
Yes, yes. So bulk add income,
okay.
let's say here,
I think that's a new
10,000.
feature, no?
Yeah, yeah. So we put in December kasi let's assume
Oh,
na for 2020 yung filing natin dito, 2020. Let's
yeah.
put in a random OR number.
Okay.
Category natin dito, sales services, and let's say client one business name. So after
Okay.
that, you can just add in another new row.
Okay. Nice.
So ganito. So
Super
it's the same as
helpful yan
expense.
sa akin.
One other thing you can do is you can download the Excel file.
Well, yeah.
So my Excel files to Taxumo, and you can just populate the fields, populate the columns, and then automatically magsisync siya sa cash flow mo. So if you have a really this works if you're online seller. But out of our online sellers do this kasi ang dami na transactions each day eh. So ang hirap niya i-bulk add. So you can just copy paste yung nasa whatever accounting system that they have. They can just copy paste it to their what do you call this? The file that we have on Taxumo and upload that.
Yeah. What about the images of the receipts? Kasi with the
It's,
adding one by one, you can attach.
yeah, so with that naman, you have to go and edit. So you have
Okay.
to, wala siya sa
Wala siya sa
bulk
bulk.
nga.
But anyway, okay lang.
Wait lang, may double. Yes, wala pa siya sa bulk. So
Okay.
you have to, manually put it in.
Okay. Pero that will
But it's,
definitely help yung I think
yes,
using that bulk
but
ad.
it's not necessary, like just for everyone's information, it's not necessary to have the OR uploaded, but we highly recommend it kasi if the BI decides to audit you, at least you have a digital copy na of all your receipts.
Yes.
So wala ka ng problema like ito I took a picture of my receipts. Ito yung nakuha ko, parang ganun. So it's easier for you to parang to get that information that the BAR will request from you.
Okay.
It's more of a just in case kind of thing,
Yeah.
but we do recommend it. So next naman is we go to tax juice. So tax juice section shows all the taxes you need to file. So nakita natin dito, I have the annual income 1701A coming up. Tapos may Q1 and Q2 coming up as well. So ito yung pinaka important, 1701A. So just for everyone's information, kahit April 15 yung sinasabi ni BIR yung deadline, on Taxumo, we do it a few days earlier. Kasi it's also kind of a quality control kind of thing, but we want to make sure that everything is good to go before we submit them to the BIR. Kasi ang daming, like the volume of taxes coming in like a few days before the annual ITR season is sobrang dami.
Sure.
So we give a bit of parang lead time for our team to just make sure everything is good. So once you have this, you also see here na my tax juice. So that's what I told earlier na my automatic tax calculation feature tayo. So from the income and expenses that I've declared in the cash flow, ito yung tax due ko for the annual income, which is 5,040 pesos. So what next would you do is you press file now. We get this from the data you have inputted in your system, in your profile. But if you want to edit it, you can edit it here. But otherwise, if wala naman, just to proceed. Ito na yung information on your 1701A form. Now, you can let Taxumo automatically include penalty. Example, you fell it late, so we can automatically compute your penalties for you. But if wala naman, then there's need to put it in. Lastly, there's 3 ways you can file on Taxumo. So prepare only. So what you do here is that you can do all the steps that I mentioned earlier, and then you can just close. You can just download the BIR form, and you can submit it yourself, and pay it yourself. So you can just download the form from us, prepare and file. We will submit the form and your attachments for you, but you file it, you pay the file, you pay the taxes kung saan most convenient to you. So if you want to go to the bank, ganon, you can pay it through there. And then
Bakit
ito
pa?
yung pinaka Yeah, bakit pa? But yun nga, like, baka may mga tao na gusto talaga magpumunta sa bangko eh. So, why not? Yeah. And then prepare, file, and pay. So this is like everything we do. So you use Taxumo's payment channels as well.
So
So
that's the end-to-end, ano na,
yes,
option.
it's the end to end. So you click proceed, and then unfortunately, since I don't have I can't find it now kasi yun nga mag-error siya kasi I'm using fake I'm using a fake pin, for the demo purposes. So you
Yeah.
have you can choose from a variety of payment methods here. We have GrabPay, you can use debit card, you have GCash, PayPal, online banking, bank over the counter, non-bank over the counter. So you can choose what is the most convenient for you when it comes to filing taxes.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's and after clicking on that, you pay now and it will submit. And unfortunately, I can't do that because and this is for demo purposes.
But
So
after
ayan.
you click that, let's say successful yung payment, what happens?
So you should receive an email from Taxumo and from the BIR na successful yung pag-submit mo. May
Uh,
notification na lalabas. So that is, and then you can download the file from there. You can review, ganon, and you're done. Basically, you're done.
wow, napakabilis in a few steps. Yun nga, yung sinabi kong experience ko before na almost I had to pinapapunta pa ako sa bank just to pay and yun nga, especially now, bakit hindi ka na lang do everything in Taxumo?
Yeah.
Is there a way we can demo yung let's say I'm like for me I'm mixed income tapos I have that employee 2316
Sure, sure,
tapos
sure.
and then I'll also file yung my freelancer income.
Sige. So what you do here is that you go back to your settings. You update your taxpayer detail. Kasi for here, income source natin is solely from business. So assuming dito na I'm purely earning from my freelance gig. So you switch it up from solely from business to mixed from business employment. So here you declare the Taxumo na, hey, I'm actually a mixed income earner na. So you do that, you save the changes, and let's go to tax choose. Okay. Okay, so I need to cancel this kasi.
Oo, yun yung final mo
Alright.
kanina.
Okay, wait lang. Let me just double check kasi baka 2021. Oh yeah, this is 2021. Okay, so medyo namali ako. Just remember guys na we have different dates for
Default.
taxpayer profiles. Yeah. Na-default siya to the latest one. So hindi ko siya na punta sa 2020. So I'm declaring 2020 as mixed from business and employment. Save the changes. And it will reflect there. So nakita natin dito like before na purely income and employment, purely from income siya, that was from 1701A. So when we transitioned na to mixed income earner, the system changed it to 1701. So automatic na siya eh. Like you don't need to think, oh, ano ba yung mga BIR forms na kailangan ko?
Lumaki rin yung tax.
Oh, lumaki yung tax.
Parang ganyan din nangyari sa akin.
So you file now. All right. So we file now. So we ask a few questions, clarifying questions first before we begin. So is the income in profession exempt from BNBE? If hindi, yeah, you click no. May professional income tax rate ka ba? Wala. So no. Are you reporting any NOLCO? If unsure, click no. Proceed. Do you receive any income from employment from your reporting? Yes. Click yes.
Ayan na,
Kasi
yan.
mixed
So
income
yan
or
yung
income.
different, no? Parang
Yes. So proceed tayo. Then let's get started. So we put in the name of employer. Let's say employer 1 0 0 0 0 0. Kasi ito yung papasok ko there. Depends.
so,
How do you?
yeah. So
Yes.
this part, no, the user will need to have on their hand yung 2316 na binibigay
Yes.
ng
Yes.
ng employer nila at the end of the tax year. Tapos diyan nila kukunin yung information, correct?
Yes. So you put in here yung compensation income mo. So this is the data that you will need from the 2316 pala.
Yeah. You just
So
literally copy yung information.
yeah. So you put in, let's say 500,000 yung income mo, and assuming let's play the ballpark na nasa 200,000 yung na we need help. So that's 2 million. Right. That's non-taxable expenses except compensation. If wala ka, then just let's just click proceed.
Just to add, no, if you can go
Yeah.
back, ako what when I don't know what to put, I click that question mark
Yes.
to tell me which part of the 2316
Yeah.
to ano, kasi nakalagay diyan yung row,
Yeah.
where to get that number.
Yeah. So we don't leave you hanging. Oh, saan mo kumukuha to? So we actually give you the kung saan talaga kukunin yung mga data na ito.
Yeah.
So ayun. So if wala ka, then there's no need to put in here. I don't have a 2316 on me, so I can't put anything right now. So assuming wala, let's click proceed. Then the taxable business income, we get it from the cash flow na. So no need for you to
Yeah,
enter it
automatic
for
na yan.
yourself. Proceed. If you have if you have any of these requirements mga data, just click on here if you need to, just to make sure that you're accurately putting the information. If wala naman, let's just click on proceed. Then reconciliation of that books, okay. Then since it's not fillable, so I think the system does this for you na. We proceed. Civil status, other payment option. We typically recommend to be carried over as tax rate for next quarter. So if negative yung income tax natin, we can just roll it over for the next annual income tax return. And then a tax tip pala for everyone. So if you are tight on cash flow on your annual ITR, you can actually pay in 2 installments. So um you can choose how much you want at the minimum to pay for the installment. But typically the minimum is 2,000. You need to pay upfront at least 2,000 pesos and pay everything else by October 15. So that's one thing you can do for annual income tax return.
Question
Assuming
about
that,
that, no?
yeah,
So I can pay, let's say example kanina 25,000. So I can pay
mm,
up to 40% of that. Up
yes,
to
up to
40%.
40%.
And
But at the minimum,
the balance, so
the
60%,
will be on October na.
October.
Mm.
Will I also be paying it sa Taxumo? And will I be prompted to pay that?
I will get back to you on that. Let me
I
confirm
think
the functionality.
okay. I asked that sa customer support kay Mel. Sabi
Yeah.
niya yes.
Okay,
So
sige,
yeah,
sige.
just to pero let's verify and then I'll just update the blog post for this episode. Pero when I ask
Yep.
ano naman I'll be prompted daw. So
Sige. That's good to hear. Thank you for clarifying that, Marv.
no problem, no
uh,
problem.
so we can proceed. And then ayun, you get a summary na of all the things that you need to of all the things on your PR from 1701. Click this if you want it end to end. If you if you don't want the hassle, proceed, and then you can file now. Parang ganon. All right. That's it.
All right. So
Okay.
ano talaga no, it's sabi ko kanina, it's a matter of a few minutes. As long as prepared, you have everything, all your documents, your receipts, as long as tama yung pinasok mo previously, so that tama yung computation. In the demo, you show there no, na yung the amounts already appear automatically.
Yeah.
But you can still edit, kunyari may other information, but generally kung wala ka naman kailangan palitan na just click proceed and proceed.
Yeah.
And it's that easy. Comparing it to yung old school version na you need that to write down everything, di ba? Yung mga computation, you need to compute on your own.
Yeah.
If graduated ka, you need to look at the table. So everything is automatically computed.
Yeah. And one thing I should to add is that, like a lot of people medyo may problems silang tax filing kasi may times kasi nag-update si BIR na mga BIR forms, yung mga bago memorandum, and then yeah, if you're not updated with that, maybe there's a chance that you may be finding the wrong things or calculating the wrong stuff. So in Taxumo, we always keep updated kami sa ano nangyayari sa BIR. So you're confident that with us, you're filing with the most up-to-date calculations and with the most up-to-date form para wala ka ng problem whatever it is.
All right. Great, great. So yeah, if you can unshare your screen and then yeah, siguro yeah, I think ano na, we covered everything we need to cover and we took them through the process, showed them how to manage the settings and then
Yeah.
uh, input their income expenses and then yung actual filing and paying of taxes. So thank you very much, Liej, for helping us understand taxes and how understand also how to file and pay it easily through Taxumo. So siguro your message to all our freelancer friends before we say goodbye to them.
Sure. I think the message for me is, like, I know tax filing can sound like a burden. Like, and I've been guilty of that. I know, guilty of that sentiment when I was still earning as an employee and was still, I know, back in the past. But when I joined Taxumo, like, it really opened me up. But there's a whole ton of benefits to filing your taxes. And aside from it being a duty to our country, it opens you up to more opportunities. And I hope you see it that way, that it's not an expense, consider it an investment in getting bigger clients, consider it an investment in traveling to other countries out when the whole COVID pandemic ends. Consider it an investment in probably getting loans if you want to expand your business. Uh, there's a whole there's a whole lot of things you can do when you there's sort of things open up to you once you register and file your taxes. So I hope you take advantage of that.
All right. If people have more questions after watching or listening to this episode, how can they reach out to you? How can they reach out to Taxumo?
Sure. So you can just go to www.taxumo.com. And if you can easily chat with any of our customer support team there. They're available from 9 a.m. to 12 midnight every day. So if you have any questions regarding your taxes or if you have any trouble with your Taxumo account, you can just easily send them a message. And we have a blog post full of information about like 8% versus OSD. How do you file for 1700? Parang ganon, like we go really technical into those stuff. Technical, but in layman's terms, so you can easily understand it. So you can read about those. And we also have a lot of webinars in our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So I think around 2 weeks ago, we had a webinar with the BIR discussing annual ITRs. So if you're interested with that, you can check that webinar out. So yes, there's a lot of information you can get from our different channels.
Any upcoming webinars or events from Taxumo?
Yes. So starting around next week, like April 5, we'll be doing a series of webinars on specifically how to file annual ITR for different cases. Let's say, for example, mixed income earner, professional, small business owner. So we go through the whole process of that next starting
Yeah.
next week.
I would assume more detail than our demo today, no?
Yes. I'll be asking either our product manager or our CSR team to help ano kasi they can explain it better than I do.
So how do they join that webinar?
It's just Facebook Live. So we'll upload the details starting next week, so they
Mhm.
can just signify their interest in the event, and now it'll just notify them that once we go live, it's they can just watch it.
Yeah, so they just need to like your Taxumo Facebook page.
Yes.
Just search for Taxumo on Facebook, like the page, and I'm sure they'll see they'll get notified once you go live. So that's sometime next week, which is first
Yes.
week of April, tama.
Yes, crunch time na for annual ITR filing.
Exactly. All right, all right. Yeah, thank you very much, Liej Alas, Growth Manager of Taxumo. Thank you very much, Liej,
Yeah.
again. Everyone, thank you for joining us. And yeah, I hope you learned something new today. And yeah, just check out taxumo.com. So thanks, everyone. Peace.
Bye.
Okay.